Hey everyone, throw away because my mane has too many eyes on it. Buckle up, this one's weird, messy, and still messing with my head. I've been married to my wife, let's call her Amanda, for about 6 years. We met at a mutual friend's barbecue, hit it off over beers and bad karaoke, and honestly, for the first few years, it was great. We were that couple that people said just worked. We had a rhythm, inside jokes, our Sunday morning routines. No fireworks, but steady and reliable. About a year ago, Amanda started getting weirdly into fishing. Like, out of nowhere. She'd never even baited a hook before, and suddenly she's buying waders, joining local fishing Facebook groups, and watching YouTube tutorials on how to gut trout. I figured, okay, people get hobbies better than shopping or drama, right? But here's where it started to smell fishy, pun 100% intended. She started going on weekend fishing trips with this group she met online. Sometimes they'd be gone from Friday night to Sunday evening. No cell reception, she said. All outdoors, very remote. At first, I didn't think much of it. She seemed genuinely excited, and I liked seeing her happy about something. But over time, things changed. She became colder. Snappier. Secretive with her phone, even password-locked her iPad, which was new. She'd come back from trips smelling like cheap cologne instead of fish, and when I asked her about it, she laughed and said it was probably from the bait shop guy. You ever hear someone lie so badly it makes your skin crawl? Yeah. That was the moment the first real crack formed. But I didn't want to be that guy. The paranoid husband. So I played it cool, until the truth basically dragged itself to my front door in the most bizarre way imaginable. So, here's how the truth started unraveling. A couple weekends back, Amanda was on one of her usual fishing trips. Same deal, gone Friday night, back late Sunday. I was home alone, doing laundry, and when I went to move some of her clothes from her gym bag to the washer, a small folded piece of paper fell out. It was a receipt. Not for bait. Not for tackle. But for a beachfront motel, 2 nights, under the name Mr. and Mrs. Holt. Our last name isn't Holt. And Amanda sure as hell didn't mention staying in a motel. I flipped it over. There was a note scribbled in blue pen. Same room next time? You're better than catching a record base. Red Heart M. Now I'm not Sherlock, but even I can connect the dots. I didn't lose it right then. I was too shocked. I sat on the floor, staring at this receipt like it was written in a foreign language. My hands were literally shaking. I even Googled the motel. Yep, beachfront, romantic, not remotely close to the remote fishing lake she claimed to be at. Suddenly, all those weird behaviors came crashing down like a damn wave. The cologne. The distant attitude. The locked devices. The spotty reception. The way she got defensive every time I asked simple questions. I didn't want to believe it, but it was there in ink and cheap paper. She was screwing someone else. On a fishing trip. The worst part? I didn't even know who M was. But I was about to find out, and I had no idea just how low this thing was about to go. So at this point, I had the motel receipt, a growing pit in my stomach, and about a million horrible thoughts running through my head. I wasn't sure what to do. I considered confronting Amanda the second she walked through the door, but something told me to wait. I needed more than a scribbled love note and a hunch. I needed something solid. Cue my brilliant, or reckless, idea. I decided to go to the next fishing meetup myself. I found the group she was part of on Facebook. She was dumb enough not to make it private. They were planning another trip the following weekend. Location, a dock about 2 hours north, near a fishing lodge. So I drove up there early that Saturday morning and just watched. About an hour after I got there, Amanda pulled up in her car. She wasn't alone. A guy stepped out on the passenger side. Mid-40s, tan, wearing a tank top and cargo shorts. Looked like he spent more time drinking beer than actually fishing. But the way he grabbed her hand, the way they laughed, it was intimate. Comfortable. Too comfortable. I sat in my car, stunned. Then I followed them, and yep, just like I feared, they didn't even head toward the docks. They went straight to a different motel, not the one from the receipt, but same idea. Cheap, coastal, and definitely not outdoorsy. I waited. Took photos of them walking in together. I felt sick. Not just because she lied, but because she chose this guy. This basic, beer-gut fisherman who probably thought bass fishing and infidelity were the peak of manhood. I drove home in silence, pictures on my phone, heart in my throat. And when Amanda got home Sunday night, I was waiting. Sunday night, Amanda strolled in like nothing happened. Hair tied up, hoodie on, carrying that same damn fishing bag. She even tossed me a tired little smile and said, "You would not believe how hard it rained up there." Oh really? Because I would believe it never rained at all, Amanda. I waited until she put her stuff down, then handed her my phone. I had the motel photos queued up. She stared at them, blinked a few times, then I swear to God she actually laughed. "Wow," she said. "You followed me? That's insane. Are you serious right now?" That's when I saw it. Not guilt. Not panic. Annoyance. Like I was the problem. I asked her who the guy was. She rolled her eyes and said, "He's just a friend from the fishing group. We had to split a room because there weren't enough left. It was cheaper." Nothing happened. I told her I had the previous receipt too, with the Mr. and Mrs. Holt signature and the flirty message. Her whole face shifted, not to sadness or regret, but straight up rage. "You've been going through my stuff? Jesus, are you that insecure?" I told her I watched them walk in, laughing, holding hands. I told her I saw it all. She didn't even try to deny it anymore. Instead, she went full gaslight mode. "You're being dramatic. It's not like I planned for it to happen. You've been distant anyway. It was just a connection, not like I love him or anything. We were just having fun. It meant nothing." And the kicker? She looked me in the eye and said, "You should have seen this coming. You haven't exactly been exciting lately." At that point, I wasn't even angry, I was numb. The woman I married was gone. In her place was someone cold, condescending, and somehow still trying to make me feel guilty. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just stood up and left the room. I needed space before I did or said something I'd regret. After that confrontation, I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch in the dark, staring at nothing, heart racing, mind buzzing with every memory I had of Amanda, the wedding, the late-night road trips, the way she used to fall asleep with her head on my chest. All of it felt like a lie now. I kept asking myself, was this always her? Was she just pretending to love me? Or did she really change into this person? The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened. Made coffee. Scrolled her phone. Hummed a tune in the kitchen. I honestly thought I was going insane. She didn't apologize. She didn't even try. She just kept on like we were roommates who had a small argument over trash duty. I couldn't take it. I told her I needed some time to think and left the house. I drove for hours with no destination, parked at a random lake, and just stared at the water. And yeah, the irony of being near a lake while thinking about my cheating wife and her fisherman boy toy didn't escape me. The pain hit me in waves. First it was anger, pure, burning rage. Then sadness, so heavy I could barely breathe. Then came the emptiness. I started questioning everything. Was I not enough? How long had it really been going on? How many other fishing trips were actually sex weekends? The worst part was the humiliation. Knowing she lied so easily. That she smiled in my face while planning motel stays with another man. I felt small. Broken. Powerless. But something shifted in me that day. I realized I might be broken, but I'm not weak. And I'm not staying in this hell to be treated like a fool. After my day by the lake, I came back home calmer, not okay, but clearer. Amanda was on the couch, flipping through Netflix like it was any other Monday night. When she saw me, she paused the show and gave me this bored look like, "You done sulking?" I told her I wanted to talk. For once, she didn't dodge it. I asked her straight up, how long had it been going on? How many times? Was it just him? She shrugged. Then she said something that honestly still rings in my ears. Why does it even matter? It's done now. I said it matters because I deserve the truth, not just scraps of whatever she's willing to toss me. That's when she started lying again. First she said it was just twice. Then, under pressure, she said 5 times. Then she said she lost count, but it didn't mean anything. Eventually, after what felt like a twisted game of emotional chicken, she admitted she'd been sleeping with him for months, since early spring. Every fishing trip had included at least one night with him. Sometimes 2. Sometimes more than just him. That's right, turns out M wasn't the only one. She said the group was open, that things sometimes just happened after a few drinks, nothing serious, and that I'd never understand unless I was part of that lifestyle. What lifestyle? The lie to your husband and screw random guys while holding a fishing pole lifestyle? She blamed me again, said I was boring, that I didn't take initiative, that life with me felt stale. Then she tried to soften it with, but I still love you. I told her I didn't want her love. Not if that's what it looks like. After Amanda finally dropped the bombshell that it wasn't just the fisherman, that it was other guys too, part of some bizarre open group dynamic I was never told about, I just sat there. I think my soul left my body for a few minutes. You know that feeling where your heart's racing, but your limbs feel like concrete? That was me. My hands were shaking, but I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. I told her I wanted a divorce. She didn't fight it. Didn't cry. Didn't beg. She just nodded and said, "Fine. Maybe that's for the best." That hurt more than all the lies combined. 8 years together. And she didn't even flinch. Later that night, I packed a bag and went to stay with my brother. I didn't say goodbye. She didn't ask where I was going. The next day, she texted me once. "Let me know when we can talk about splitting stuff. I'll keep things peaceful." Peaceful. Like we were just 2 business partners dividing assets. Not husband and wife. Not lovers. Just 2 people who used to matter to each other. I stayed off social media. I couldn't bear to see anything, not even her friends, who were probably all in on it. I went dark. I needed space to breathe. It's amazing how quiet the world becomes when the noise in your life finally shuts off. And yet, in that silence, I started to grieve. Not just the relationship, but the version of her I thought was real. The days that followed felt like I was moving through molasses. Everything slowed down, my thoughts, my movements, my appetite. I couldn't focus on anything for more than 5 minutes without my brain drifting back to her. Not the cheating Amanda. Not motel room Amanda. But the Amanda I fell in love with. The girl who used to leave me dumb sticky notes in my lunch. The one who cried when we got our first apartment. The one who made fishing jokes even though she hated fish. I kept asking myself, was that real? Was any of it real? Because the person I just left, she was a stranger. A cold, dismissive stranger who could look me in the eye and lie without blinking. I started therapy. Best decision I ever made. My therapist told me something I'll never forget. You didn't lose your wife. You lost the illusion you were married to the person you thought she was. That line broke me. I realized I'd been mourning something that never existed. The woman I thought I loved, she left long ago. Maybe she was never fully there. And the betrayal? It wasn't just about sex or some fisherman. It was about trust. About the million moments she had a chance to be honest and chose lies instead. I stopped blaming myself. I stopped replaying every little fight or cold night, thinking maybe I caused this. No. She made those choices. She destroyed the marriage. She betrayed me, and no amount of guilt-tripping or gaslighting changes that. A few weeks later, we finally sat down to officially split things. It was cold, mechanical, almost like a business transaction. I brought my brother along just in case things got heated, but there was no shouting, no drama. Amanda acted like someone finalizing a gym membership cancellation. She didn't apologize. Not once. Just said, "I hope you find what you're looking for." Like I was the one who wandered off. We agreed to sell the house. She wanted to keep her car and the kitchen appliances. I didn't care, I just wanted out. My only request was to take the dog, Jasper. She hesitated at first, then said, "You were always better with him anyway." That line hit me harder than expected. You'd think I'd be relieved to be free, and in many ways, I was, but there's something uniquely painful about watching someone you once considered your forever person treat you like a minor inconvenience. That night, I took Jasper for a long walk. No leash, no plan, just us and the stars. I realized it was the first time in months I felt, okay. Not happy. But stable. Amanda didn't reach out again. Not to check in. Not to explain. Not even to pretend she cared. And in that silence, I found something I hadn't felt in a long time, peace. It's been 3 months since Amanda and I finalized the divorce. Life's different now. Quieter. Cleaner. Honest. I've gotten into hiking, something she used to complain was too much walking with no purpose. But out there, surrounded by trees and silence, I found something that had been missing for a long time, me. I no longer wake up dreading the day. I no longer question my worth because someone else couldn't see it. Therapy's still ongoing, and I've got a solid circle of friends who helped pull me out of the emotional wreckage. What did I learn? I learned that love without honesty is just performance. I learned that betrayal doesn't always come with screaming matches, sometimes it wears a smile and calls itself a fishing trip. I learned that no matter how much you love someone, you can't force them to be loyal, kind, or decent. If you're reading this and going through something similar, maybe you're seeing signs, or maybe you just got hit with the truth, hear this. You're not crazy. You're not overreacting. And you don't have to stay just because history tells you to. Pain is temporary. But peace? Peace is worth everything. Thanks for listening, Reddit. Writing this all out, it helped more than I thought it would.